What an opener.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I got inspired by your stream yesterday. I don't think I heard this record for 10 years. So
You should put it up every now and then. It's a wonderful, wonderful record. And interesting what Loyola said. He got his copy from Athens, and I hope you got the Greek copy because it's 5 minutes longer.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes longer than every other cut, I think. What version did we hear on our stream now? Was it the American, I think you said, right?
yeah, this was I think first American. And I just thought I would find some copies to put on the OBC, so I found I think another American and the first German one to go on the OBC.
Ah, cool. You have spare copies. That's great.
Yeah, but the German and American, not UK.
I have the German, and the German is fantastic. I cannot say something about the American, but the German is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I can't remember Thomas showing us a non-African record that had as much ringware as the copy we have here. Like,
I also thought that might be an African pressing.
Yeah, and that's really because I want to put up for sale the American one. This is first American, but the cover is not that beautiful. But the record is excellent condition.
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, the record is the main part, right? Or
Yeah.
the record in this case. Yeah.
And
Stanley, do you have Aphrodite's Child 666, Book of Revelation?
No, I like it, but
You do. I thought it might be too Pink Floyd-ish, easy.
that's it. That's why I don't have it. Like, I don't mind listening to it every now and then. I don't need to own it. It still has a little bit of this noodling, not too much, but a little bit that for me kind of loses me a little bit, which is kind of what the record I have lined up is a response to that, but it still made me think about a few things about like the notion of time, how that record came out when, in 68, 69?
72?
72?
But I'm not good with those kind of. But I think
I was
early
just.
70s. But the gallery will.
Yeah. But it's just that I remember when I was a teen, going to the public library and reading the rock magazines, and they were talking about that record as a Stone Cold classic. But it means it wasn't even 20 years old then.
Okay. But you can be a classic after 20 years.
No, absolutely. But it's interesting.
Take Daft Punk. I think Daft Punk was a Stone Cold classic after 10 to 15 years.
Well, it's how the way we measure time for records can be different from record to record, or music style to music style, in the sense that like the stuff that is part of classic rock probably becomes classic faster. The record I'm going to play has something to do with what we listen to, but it's coming from a different perspective. Even if, well, you'll see, you'll tell me, and then you'll tell me when this is from, which is not that difficult, to be honest.
I love this. So we have some two guesses. We have Billy Bob, who said early 90s, and Honor Wolf in his endless charm says not enough going on for my taste. Guess late 70s.
So it kind of gets going. For me, this record is sort of the matrix of kind of everything that became later the label International Anthem. This is Directions in Music, which is Bundy K. Brown, Duke Sharin, and James Warden. So it's basically, it came out in 1996 on the Thrill Jockey. So it's basically almost a sort of Tortoise side project. It's like the most post-rock record you could get from back then.
Okay.
And I wanted to play that since it's also like instrumental rock. But as you can hear, like in this case, the guitar is in the background, the bass is in front, and the drums is everywhere.
Yeah, that was quite. That was quite. No, not unsettling, but quite. Ooh, what's that? Is there something wrong with Stunty's sound card again, or is that a mix?
Well, it was just like people trying. Like these guys, they come from post-hardcore, like the late '80s scene, and I guess like obviously this is a lot influenced by jazz. I mean, they must have been listening to jazz. It's like Duke Sharin from Codeine, him, and other projects, Bundy K. Brown, who was basically one of the masterminds behind Tortoise.
Yeah.
And I remember when this came out, it was fascinating, but it was also a little bit unsettling. Like you said, in the sense like, what am I to make out of this music? It's obviously very interesting. It's all obviously the people they do that, they're very good at what they do. But what is this? And that was literally what, like this whole thing about that journalist called post-rock that started with Labradford and Tortoise, of trying to become something else while still being rock, which I think was to a certain degree the objective of Aphrodite Childs back then as well. It's just that the culture hadn't gone yet that so far away that you could like skip the guitar solos. But my point was that this came out 30 years ago. So by many standards, that's a classic. And for a lot of musicians, it is. It's still an underground classic. But this was so influential for a lot of bands that came after. So it's a great record. Like I played one track. I hadn't played that in, I don't know, 3-4 years now. It's a very nice record.
No, you had a good opportunity. I want to get into one question. Paul is asking, what does OBC stand for? Been gone for a minute. It stands there for Original Buyers Club since now almost 2 years, right? No, over 2 years. And club, because at the beginning it was only for members, to the joy of some people. And we open it up bit by bit when we see fit. And the name still stands here, the Original Buyers Club. Thomas.
Again, an echo from the past in a way.
An echo from the past, but it still suits us, I think, because we put high emphasis also in the OBC shop on first press. Not only first pressings, but most of them. Thomas. You want to give us some music?
I will go to the one in the picture.
Dos Mundos.
No. I want your loving. Yeah, baby. When you need me, you make me feel good inside. I want your loving. Don't ever leave me, baby.
Yeah, Thomas, what was that?
That was like a record from 1979 from Venezuela. They called Dos Mundos. And it's folk records. It's
that was groovy. And Jose Moreno Ran wants to know how you come to get the Venezuelan pressing instead of the US one.
So why I got
how, not why, how?
I bought this one in England at a record fair in Brighton, and that was, you could not choose between the American and the Venezuelan.
Yeah.
But I always try to get for the original, even though the American might sound better. Than this was like an excellent copy from Venezuela.
Nice.
It's funny because the flute playing, I'm sure Thomas knows that record, Flûte Libre, Free Flute, the Jean Cohen Solal record.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same kind of flute playing. A little more towards rock though than jazz, but still very good. That's what makes the record in so many ways, I would say.
The flute made the
Yeah.
song. Yes, I totally agree. But with the flute, it was amazing, right up my alley. I would love to have that one. I wasn't aware of this one.
And it's like a 10-minute track. I just jumped over the first minutes, so we just got the end of the song.
Wow.
But the beginning is without the flute, but much more rock, and I think the sound can be too tough in the beginning.
Okay.
Not in a good way, but I like the end of it, so I just played the last end.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, a lot of us connect flute with Ian Anderson, but that's for the not
Jean
for
Cohen Solal. I know what Fleg is saying. Like, it's true that a lot of people do that. Yeah, or with Will Ferrell in Anchorman, but that's another thing.
That's another.
I also have a record from 1979 lined up, so a little bit of a different perspective.
Vaya latinos, ja, ja. Vaya latinos, ja, ja. ¿Qué pasa Nueva York, California, Florida, Philadelphia? Tú sabes gozar. Le hablo a los latinos, escucha. Lengua, lengua, hey, hey. Aquí yo le traigo un Latin rap. Soy un latino orgulloso, soy un latino maravilloso. A los latinos le hablo yo, escúchame a mí. Esto es un mensaje que yo te traigo a ti. No los pararán, hay que seguir. Siempre para adelante, nunca para atrás. Abre esa mente que entre la claridad. Tucututín, tutá, vamos a bailar. Tucututín, tutá, vamos a japear. Los blancos para el lado, ustedes son bacalao. Yo soy un salsero y te voy a quitar tu dinero. Soy un latino orgulloso, soy un latino maravilloso. Yo vengo caminando, pero vengo cocinando. Siempre para adelante, nunca para atrás. Vaya latinos, que viva la raza. Soy un latino maravilloso.
He does a good job with the singing. I enjoyed it. He was in a good mood. Hey, Stefan. That was nice, Santi.
Yeah, the B-side is instrumental, so
No, don't do
for
it.
it's on one of my favorite funk disco label. People say it's a soul label, but it's a very small label, etc. From New Jersey. I got like 4 out of the 8 releases on it. It's like from late 70s. It's totally under the radar. Like someone should do a compilation of these 12 inches. They're still like very cheap. It's not necessarily like the best, like most incredible thing ever, but like from a DJ perspective, these are the kind of records it's cool to have. Because
I can imagine, yeah. If it fits, it's amazing. Yeah, I can imagine. And yeah, if you only play the greatest record of all time, this stream would be over quite fast, right?
Yeah, and there's again, from a DJ perspective, this is so heavy, and even if there were some horns and all, like as Thomas would hopefully agree, it was still quite minimalistic. There was still quite some room inside of it, so it's very dynamic because of that. Because the more instruments you have, it becomes more problematic on the dance floor, obviously, because you lose so much of the dynamics of the instruments. And I just thought like
When was the last time you played that?
That one actually not that long ago. I played that one like maybe a year and a half ago at a party, and it worked great.
So 33 1/3 wasn't there. It wasn't the instrumental part.
It might have been. I don't remember actually. It depends on what I had played before.
Yeah.
But it was just since like the Dos Mundos record, that is an American band recording outside of America in '79 with the Latino culture. So I thought I'm going to play a Latino record recorded in America, released in America from the same time. But yeah.
Here we go.
Not much more to say, but like it's a cool little label to investigate.
Thomas, give us something to investigate too, please. Yeah, I agree with you. Sounds like library. Not so sure, but like it, definitely. More infos, please.
This is also a very small label. I think there's only 5 releases on Strata, the sound of Detroit, and 4 of them are really good. The fifth one might be as well. I can't remember that one, but this one is from 1975, and an album where if you like this sound, the whole album is good.
Yeah, that was really, really cool and very special. Justin Peters wants to know, Thomas, do you have the entire Strata discography in your collection?
No.
Yeah, I think except one. I think I'm missing one. Because I have
The
the
boom, right? The boom?
Yeah, exactly.
The boom, huh?
It's
And
not
boom.
it's not Strata East. This is Strata.
Ah,
It's
okay. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. But I don't have the boom. But that's on Strata East. This is
Strata
Strata.
East, yeah.
I think this one is called Strata, the sound of Detroit.
The jacket art, the cover art is fantastic, right, Stunty? But you love this song too, Stunty, don't you?
Yeah, it's super cool. It's again, it's kind of arranger music. So the opposite of what I was playing right before. And I mean, you could almost carbon date that though by just listening to it. But yeah, it's the music of the time, and what makes it stand out, that one for you, Thomas?
I think some of the tracks is the drums with the sampling. I think that's like
Yeah.
I think it's a record that you hear the whole record. You get into like a mood. You can hear this is.
Yeah, give us some more. Why not? Come on.
It's both a little bit like a soundtrack and a little bit groovy, and it could be like for Black Exploitation soundtrack. I think some of it, and there's some heavy drums on some of the tracks that been quite.
But Stunty, Thomas, why do you think that some people thought, oh, that might be library? Do you understand the question? Do you think,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's obviously not library, because you can hear that the arrangement here costs way more than what you would get on a library record. Like library records, deep down, however great they are coming from a sort of like economical perspective. You would try to have it as cheap as possible, which is why so many libraries are music by one man in a home, in a private studio. But there is still like a sort of like easy going feeling around it, like something that doesn't overtake everything else, which is also kind of the function of library music, to just complement.
Okay, Stanti, now give us your equivalent in a way, if possible. I love the dive.
So this is probably the first recording live of Thief, Soft Machine, commissioned live by this Norwegian radio station. This is from '72, and so this is at a turning point for Soft Machine. It's the fourth album. So this is I think it's the last time Robert Wyatt is with them. And I just thought it would be nice to play that, but also to show that record, because it's quite interesting compilation of commissioned work from '69 to 2012, and you got stuff like Arne Nordheim, so experimental electronic music from like the '60s, and then you got also Jim O'Rourke, Jenny Hewell, John Cage, Lasse Marhog, Def Prod.
Yeah.
So it goes in quite many directions.
Explain commissioned music, please.
Well, the radio station commissioned a piece by not every single track here, but quite a few are commissioned to the artist. Like, we're gonna pay you to create that piece of music, and you're gonna premiere it
On the station.
at the station, because back then, I mean, we didn't have the internet, etc. And I believe this is probably the queen and king of Norway from back then, who are visiting the place. And yeah, I don't remember exactly the whole story about the title, but like, yeah, the title is pretty cool.
The cover art is amazing, and I wonder
Yeah.
if the look of the king and queen, or queen and king, is before or after listening to it.
Yeah, well, but yeah, so it's an art center. Okay, so it's not. It was basically if I remember correctly, the Norwegian radio, national radio, who were like the technicians came to that art center where the pieces were performed live in I think it's in Oslo. I'm not totally sure, but this came out in 2012, and it's a record that has quite some. Yeah,
2012, first time on vinyl.
Yeah, and probably only.
Yeah,
because it's a compilation. Like, it was put out by the art center itself. So, yeah.
Thomas, what do you have up on your sleeves for us?
I have a little wind in the Danish winter.
Jefferson from Tubelandia is asking Thomas, can you give some more information than vampire flautist? And he didn't find it.
No, I can't remember it.
Oh, he cannot. That's bad in that case.
And you can't read anything on it.
No, you can't. Just
Not
type
even-
it off, Jefferson. Just type it off.
Not even on Discogs.
That was cool.
But if you want to look into it, it's this.
Wait a second, please.
The catalog number. Yeah, it's a classic Diggers record, though. It's not. That's not an under the radar record at all. Like this is something that has been sampled over and over, and that like rare groove dealers. Yeah, this is something that is on the map of the culture.
Yeah, it's well known, but I don't know the name of it. I can't.
That's the problem, yeah.
But it is, and it's 10 song that's really well recorded, and there's good samplings here and there, and there's funny things because it still has a little bit of the Japanese sound into the feeling of a vampire soundtrack.
Someone was saying that he had also a
Nadine-
feeling of.
One thing. Nadine is not able on Wednesdays. I do streams together with her on Fridays, but they are in German. So sorry.
She plays the Champions League on Wednesdays, Nadine. But yeah, it's someone was saying that yeah, this was a perfect music for like Charlie's Angels.
For example,
And I mean, in a way, it could be a little bit like diminishing, dismissive, but it's actually pretty true. And so I thought I'd play the kind of records that would sample that after. So that could be also have this sort of like 60s, 70s, or even early 80s, like groovy feeling, but kind of with a twist. So.
One second, because 33 and a third, or in German, 33 ein Drittel, is asking Thomas, does the record have the same vibe all along, or does it?
Yes. Now we're into the third track. Sound a little bit like library music, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's worth listening to. If you like the first two tracks, it's 10 amazing tracks where always happening something weird and interesting in the songs. Good for sampling and good for listening, I think.
Wow, Stunty.
A little
What?
classic from the 2010s, if you can say classic from something that close.
It's only 15 years, right?
And in the morning time you softly say, here comes another groovy day.
I want to welcome me to your country. It's far too crowded for me to be here, but I don't want to be there. But I just got there, but I don't want to ask to be rerouted on the first day of this month's Armageddon. Writing speeches with unloved and pencil. Rewrite the scrolls of history. In the dark with a flashlight whispering to myself and the other diplomats from Switzerland. Me and my constituents and Dan Rather. We like to gather and run the world with the help of a motherboard and a back scratcher, God's computer. I drink a vodka shooter out of an antique auction lucre with a bunch of cranky cop recruiters. I offer the future in an office with the t-shirt that buttons up.
Just because the world runs on oil doesn't mean oil men should run the world. Just because the sky's my paved road doesn't mean you should pave a road over the sky.
Here comes another movie.
My mom is an enthusiastic movie actress who's into pop culture, ethnic cleansing, genetic blending of musketeers who smile from ear to ear for thousands of years. Step and they just make the crowd cheer. Now, human shield, street promoters will sleep over and dry your hair with a leaf blower. If you don't know the secret code word, then don't reorder albums that contain 3-leaf clovers that give relief to ulcers. Did you know American and British royal fam will lick your oil pan and equate a suicide bomber with a loyal fan? But on those two, they're looking out for the interests of a small group of Illuminati. Is first born now with horns and a tail.
Pumping gasoline, how much do you want? To lift up and clean the windshield with a rag. You'll need a quart of oil. My name is Clinton Moyle. I'm not from foreign soil. I've used a car antenna as a fencing foil. Sounds like your engine coil. We'll make your grandson's attention boil. Contribute and give me the rest of the money before you go to the Statue of Liberty restroom, honey. I need to go inside of the store to get you some gum. Because your breath smells like the Exxon Valdez oil spill. Clinton, read with the use of a NASCAR gas card. It's a page turner where the red fern grows. Fuel for the bedroom stove. Back to bedroom
Rock the
Would it like to be posted nude in front of frozen food? Hook, line, and sinker, but a bookbinder finger might blow a fuse. When the tube sock can pop up pontificates, I sing a boombox and bucketing songless to tapes. Well, just the games who's so sir. With a full force of a family yoke and hunger strike, over covert hunger, science testing, biological warfare. Walk the team is respectable, the Europe speaking clean, edible, leafy green vegetable, or a couch potato spud. With say no, the drugs important in your throat, pull those cultures go through your arthritic metacarpus.
So that was a pretty celebrated album when it came out. I don't remember exactly when, probably around 2008.
Celebrated by whom?
Oh, by the music journalist, the hip hop scene that was trying to do something.
Yeah, we have those kind of journalists in Germany too now.
No, it was.
Yeah, I believe.
I mean,
you.
and
No,
it is.
don't
I think
know.
it's
Don't know
it is a fun record with some rappers from the time who were really good, but they decided to have some fun. It's produced by Daedalus, who basically he started his career on Plug Research in San Francisco alongside Flying Lotus, Alice Coltrane's nephew, and they've done some stuff together. So yeah, it is a sort of pop culture extravaganza in a way, and I mean that's what.
Where do you play that record? Okay, you cannot play it.
Oh, I
when you
listen to it.
Okay.
I listen to it, or I go. I remember going to see them live at a venue in Paris. It was a super fun party.
Live, I can imagine. Yeah, live, I can imagine that works. But at home, in a club,
Yeah.
stand? Really? Dark
Well,
room?
not like a dance floor club, but like there are hip hop parties. Like it is. I mean, it is 100% party music with samples and some. Not just samples. It's not just that, but I mean, it is part of the true art of hip hop, more than rap, actually, in a way. Like, what do you think of that, Thomas? Do you know them?
I've seen the record. I didn't know that track. It was not like totally but I think the story of it is interesting, and
That's for sure. And of course, I didn't like that at all. But of course, I'm happy that I've heard it now. So it's always a gain that you heard it, that you learned about it, and that you don't buy it by accident.
It was also about, like, we often talk about these funky records from the 70s, how they got sampled in hip hop. So sometimes it's good to hear how what happened in the end.
Okay, Thomas, please top that. Make something more extravagant. No, not possible, right?
no, I don't think. that. But,
Hey, y'all. Hey, dig it.
What you got in
hey,
there?
find out what
Hey, you
it
remember
is.
how when you got your car, you take a girl out for a ride, you take her way out in the woods somewhere, and you say, well, if you don't give me a kiss, I'm gonna put you out here, I ain't gonna ride you back.
Oh, yeah, dig
Woha.
Woha.
Dig this tune. They burn out play this. Dum, dum, da, dum, da, dum, 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 da, dum. Dig it, dig it. Yeah. Check this out. This is what you do. Right here, deep lines. You don't have to walk home, my dear.
I get that. Yeah.
You don't have
put out,
to
yeah.
walk home, my love.
Let's see. Yeah.
Sing it with me right here, right here. If you be nice to me, well, I'll be good to you. And we'll both ride home in my
But wait a minute,
automobile.
I got something here. Listen to this. Listen. All that I want is a little kiss.
Yeah, go ahead, try this. Let's see how that works.
All that I want is a teeny weeny hug. Go back to that. If you,
I'll be good to you. But we'll both ride home in my automobile. Hey, let's try Hillbilly again from the top. No, wait, go again. All that I want is just a little kiss. Yeah, I think we better do it like that. Let's do it like that. Okay.
What's that sound?
Yeah, the Hillbilly sound.
Okay, well, let's go and cut, man. Let's go and cut it right now. Okay?
Okay, let's try it. Let's cut it. You don't have to walk home, my dear. You don't have to walk home, my love. If you be nice to me, oh, I'll be good to you. And we'll both ride home in my automobile. All that I want is just a little kiss. All that I want is a teeny weeny hug. If you be nice to me, oh, I'll be good to you. And we'll both ride home in my automobile. Sit just a little bit closer, my dear. Come on, woman. Sit just a little bit closer, my love. If you be nice to me, oh, I'll be good to you. And we'll both ride home in my automobile. Come over here, woman. Give me one of them big sloppy kisses.
You know I don't kiss on my first date.
lady a hug.
I'm sorry. Nothing.
Oh, you don't want to do that? You gotta walk. You gonna walk. You gonna wind up walking.
You would not make me walk.
No kisses.
You wouldn't make me
You
walk.
must be insane.
Just me till I get home.
I know you're walking now. You gotta go.
I'm gonna kiss you.
If you don't want to talk, you get out of here and you gonna walk.
I'm not gonna kiss
And
you.
I'm gonna in my automobile.
Thomas.
One of the most funky bands in this world. And they made this album in 1970, which is more like a rock, prog, country record. But the artist is the George Clinton,
Okay.
the Parliament. So that was like a little surprise to hear like a Parliament record from 1970.
Wow. Crazy. But they have been in a good mood, no doubt about that. At least briefly before it ends.
Yeah, the whole album is so different from all the rest Parliament did, I think. But you can see George Clinton there.
Okay. Okay, that's Stunty, you know that record, right?
I've heard it, but I've never really paid.
I thought you are very big into Parliaments, and then sorry, I mixed that up.
No, but like this one is a bit special. It's more like it sounds more like a Wings album somehow.
Yeah, no. You know what? That reminds me of too when they before the song starts in a way with this trying and doing and talking. The Beach Boys did that too sometimes on records. I quite enjoy that every now and then.
Yeah, sort of. Some say Dr. Hook. It could be on a Dr. Hook record as well.
But yeah, it was a fun song, but there's it's almost like a novelty song in a way.
Yeah, as I said,
it's not meant.
You can have that intro and trying and talking with some of the Beach Boys records.
Oh, maybe
this party records, they do that over there. So
at least I had no idea because I didn't remember at all what that was. I had no idea where it was going. So
I can imagine. Yeah.
So that's
at the beginning, I thought this might turn into a blues song, something like that. It was a bit bluesy, but more funky. Yeah.
Honky tonk. Yeah.
Stunty, what do you present?
Yeah.
Us?
I don't know why it made me think of that, but it did.
Left out in the rain too long, there was not glory to relive. All three fingers, all your limbs, problem now, steam soft light. Traded off when you were down, took it on. Story bitches at the scene don't care, raveling now, the scene soft We cut a loose nerve turns away. Stepped on it, dissolves into the dark soundless. I'll take a pillow from under my head. Stepped on me, my dying bed. Left out in the rain too long, marinate in a steam soft light. Stepped on dissolves into the dark sound. Cutter delivers nail guard falls proof. Bury me shallow, scratch out my name. I'd make every mistake all over again.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little album. I think it's the second California album. California was the continuation of sort of punk rock band called Red Red Meat that was more into the direction of early Pavement. It was pretty good, but also kind of crazy. And this is where they went more like towards something more Americana type, but obviously with
the whole album,
a sort
the
of
whole album.
yeah, the whole album is like that. Some songs have bigger instrumentations, but you got this whole like weird, like almost like a new primitive feeling. That it was my favorite song of the album, but still, yeah, 22 years old now, and but this is music. It could when the culture is there now, this could be done in 20 years. It would be the same. Like it's
Exactly.
really
And-
about
and
the
20 years before, in a way, too. I think that's,
Yeah.
that's quite timeless. Yeah.
It's just that I guess that before, like, because there's a lo-fi quality to it, an aesthetic that they're embracing of like the recording the sound of the electricity of and then so it took a little while before culture thought like, oh, we should keep this in. And like if they did that in the 80s, it would have been horrible probably, because they would have tried to have it more clean and but yeah.
They would get rid of the roughness, and even the voice. I got into some 80s records this very week, and I realized how in a certain area of the 80s music, the voices almost sounds the same on every record and with different bands. So I realized that now. I wasn't aware at the time. Alison Moyet, Spandau Ballet, Yazoo, Erasure, they almost sound the same when they sing. It's crazy.
Yeah, there were production techniques that were reproduced over and over for sure.
Like that. Yeah. It's stunning. Thomas, 80s or something different?
Something different, and this one I need a little help with because I bought a lot of records where the cover looks like this.
Okay.
Where did in Denmark or where do you find those?
I bought those in America. They're all UK releases, like British import, and they're all near mint, but they came original with a cover. But I got so many just like this, and it's some pretty rare UK presses. Like
We
the one
all
after-
know somebody, or not all, but a lot of us know somebody who would have known the answer to that one, but he cannot anymore.
Yeah, because it's pretty weird. I think they might have been on a radio station or something because they're all near mint. They're like spotless, the records. So then it's not somebody who played it a lot who had it. So I think
you have any ideas, Tanti, or someone in the gallery?
No. I've never seen that.
I might have 100 of them.
Different title, different
titles, and the cover is always this one.
Now my bet is
And
on
there's
Jeff
not
Van
really
Peters.
and there's not really any style homogeneity between the records, or is there?
Yeah, it's a lot of psych rock, late 60s, early 70s stuff, most of it.
Can you
All
show
right.
the label, Thomas, please? Maybe because maybe you're getting better. Can you show the label of the record?
The label is always original.
Okay.
I'll show you here.
Yeah, it's just
Okay. So it's different labels, different bands, different records, different time periods.
Yeah, mostly all of them are UK and mostly like late 60s.
And I'm sure you did the research and checked how the cover is supposed to look like, which probably means that, or I mean, there's a good chance that these might have been damaged returns that they wanted to sell again, but they couldn't with the original cover because the cover got too damaged through handling, and then they sold these somehow to maybe US radio stations or something.
It could be
the record.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because like there's no artistic quality to these sleeves, and they must have served a marketing purpose. At least a shipping one.
Let's agree on something. If customs people would design a jacket sleeve, it would look like that one. Thomas.
Good point.
I'll play a little bit.
Please.
What is the magic of Minerva? What is the magic of Minerva? From the Parthenon you see the light. With the roar you condemn the night. Glowing jewels of wisdom you have found, throwing lights of reason all around. This is the magic of Minerva. This is the magic of Minerva. Through the beams of daylight you evolve. Inward pointing dungeons you dissolve. Apathetic blindfold you cut down. Ignorance you force below the ground. This is the magic of Minerva. This is the magic of Minerva. Beauty of creation you conceive, like the juice of summer in a leaf. With 10 million summers in your eyes, fountain joys of being start to rise. The fountain joys of being start to rise. The fountain joys of being start to rise. Hey Minerva, hey Minerva, hey Minerva. The summer of all ages in your hand. Genesis' first creative season was resurrected into reason. Joys of bringing in things of without, breaking down the silent walls of doubt. Differentiating stop and go. Fantasy from wisdom seeds will grow. This is the magic of Minerva. This is the magic of Minerva. Beauty of creation you conceive, like the juice of summer in a leaf. With 10 million summers in your eyes, fantasy reflecting in the skies. Fantasy reflecting in your eyes. Fantasy reflecting in your eyes. Hey Minerva, hey Minerva, hey Minerva, the summer of all ages in your hand.
Yeah, they're all really rare. This one last time sold for €820
Pwah, with a jacket.
with the jacket, I think. And you can find it for sale, but it's between 600 and €1,000.
Wow.
I'll show you the band name here because I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, Manfred Stock already. It's synesthesia, and they
Yeah.
only released one album. And Manfred Stock next to you is a lucky guy who has this.
Yeah, I think they released one album and one 7-inch. That's all they ever released.
Nice.
But that's like in common for those I have without the cover, like pretty rare and but without cover.
You know how it is. Those bands who put out only one record and then all of a sudden they gain or build up a following and a cult around it, like the Aphrodite's Child, which also has a very lukewarm welcoming when it came out. Now it's a cult record, and yeah, that's how it is. Same with the krautrock bands, or a lot of the krautrock bands. So there seems to be a reissue of it.
Like almost everything that is worth some money. The record I'm about to play is actually worth some money, not 1,000, but it's more rare and it's worth some money. But like, let's see. Yeah, let's see.
Which instruments are they using?
So here they obviously play the cello, prepared gongs, and hurdy-gurdy, but very mildly on that track.
Which year?
1990. So it's a Czech band, Czechoslovakia pressing. It's Wojciech and Irena Havlova. Here they say Wojciech Havel, but they were together, and he took her name. I think this is their first album. There's also a mini album on 7-inch that is from 88 or 89. That sounds horrible in terms of pressing quality. This is not the best pressing either. You could hear some
click,
some gnistering, but it's still like the music is quite spectacular, I think. And they had like an album 5 years ago, I think, a retrospective of a lot of stuff they did only on cassette. That was amazing, and that's how I discovered them. Apparently, they're still active.
One question, if you allow, but and don't get me wrong, but I've had my share of records of that kind where they use instruments to create these drony, odd, sometimes very embarrassing sounds.
What?
Yes, I think there's too much out of it. I mean, there are thousands of records like those right now. Everybody, I think that's too much of a good thing, because you said this is from the 90s. It also could be from the 2000s or 2010s or 15s or 16s. I think it's too much from this drony, awkward.
It's the same as everything. The record that we just played before, you could say exactly the same. It was a cool record, but there's like thousands of records like that. It's just about finding the ones that are actually, here is something actually pretty powerful. I agree that there's a lot of like, I mean, Michael, like when we were doing like the new records, like the selection, find the most interesting ones is you have to go through a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
you have to go through a lot of stuff that is not necessarily bad, but like okay.
Yeah, again and again. But I think the difference between the song we heard before, those let's say folk song, and this one is that you have more angles for your brain and your listening to catch on. You know what I mean? Here is sometimes a wall, or no, it's always a wall in a way, but the wall is louder or more silent or less.
It's funny because I would have said exactly the same thing, but the opposite way. I would
how different?
Because on that track, especially when you get this very almost like improv of like playing the cello without making really notes, and then you get both instruments suddenly tuning together and playing hard the keys. So a huge contrast suddenly, and whereas the tracks before I could say, okay, it's it's running at it has a pace from the beginning to the end, which is fine as well. It's
no, it's not a competition. It's just my state. I am personally right in when it comes to this kind of music, this so-called drone.
Like, aren't you the same with every genre of music?
It changes, right? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Also, the genre that changes with me. But right now,
fair enough. Yeah.
I found this one more interesting than the one I played.
Okay.
It gives me more like I can't figure it out. I want to hear it again. I want to hear it on big speakers, small speakers. I want to dig into this track to find out where, because I could hear something that I really liked in it.
The big track on it, I can play quickly a little bit of like the one that people really go for it for when they talk about that record. It's I haven't played this in some time. And I guess one of the interesting parts of that is hearing musicians who obviously come from a local, like traditional folk music, and who expand on it, who embrace, like in this case, you could say free improvisation, but it's obviously composed. It's music that, I mean, now they do, they're still active and they do music for movies. And more successfully so than I would have ever imagined. But yeah, I mean, and also...
Stanley, I agree on that part. Those kind of records are so often very cineastic, very.
Yeah.
Very. That's very obvious that a lot of those new records, okay, not this one, this is from the 90s, are extremely cineastic.
You know, it's actually, in a way, I would almost say it's from the 80s. Like, it was released in 1990 in Czechoslovakia. So you can imagine, like, it's sort of also, it's kind of a Cold War record in a way, almost. It's a record from a world from before, which is always fascinating to me.
That's for sure. Yeah.
And I agree with Honor, like cellos were invented by whales, for sure.
Thomas, you have cello for us?
I think it's a long time we heard from this guy.
Exciting. You know, the recently great director, David Lynch, did he ever use a Sun Ra record, Thomas Stunty, in one of his movies or series?
He didn't. No.
He didn't, huh?
No.
I never heard of that.
But it would fit, right?
Yeah, this kind of like space age jazz aesthetic for sure.
Which year is this record?
It's 1965.
The year I was born. Imagine this.
It's the first Sun Ra record I got. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Is there any other artist at that time, at least, and earlier, of course, who played that kind of jazz? You call it space jazz? Yeah. Name some.
Yeah. In Japan, there were quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah, like the stuff by Sato, Masahiko Sato goes in that territory as well. And
have they been aware of each other?
I don't think so, but I might be wrong. I have no. I've never heard about like Sun Ra touring Japan. But I might be. I'm not the biggest Sun Ra fan. I like what I love what I love from him, which.
And this is amongst those records you love.
Yeah. There's about like 5-6 albums of his that I think like, oh yeah, these I really need to have. And then there's quite a few that I think they're nice, but.
But can you compare Albert Ayler to Sun Ra? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, actually you could. I mean, Ayler rarely played in such a big orchestra, though. But and on that note, by the way, Marshall Allen, the leader of the orchestra, who turned 100 years old last year, he just released his first album, so solo as a and it's alright. It's not the greatest thing, but
yeah, but this is but the fact itself is of course is of course worth mentioning. Let's say it that way.
Yeah.
I wonder when he starts his YouTube channel. Maybe in 10 years.
Well,
Dante,
probably not starting a Rumble channel though. But
Dante, what did Sandra inspire you to?
you know, like as we're doing it more and more, like improv, Thomas and I with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it inspires me something specific, and sometimes I just go through the shelves and okay, this one maybe, and this one maybe.
With this one, maybe. Now for sure.
And thank you, Giancarlo, by the way.
Sono un uomo e son poco, se mi guardo nel cosmo, ma la terra che è madre della quercia e del giglio mi ricorda che tutto ha il suo posto e il suo scopo. Sei in un corpo, sei vivo, lo sai. Quante volte distratto, quante volte a sbagliare, ma rimane lo spazio per sentirsi anche Dio. Sono un uomo e son poco, se mi guardo nel cosmo. Ehi, sei pronto a cambiare? Lo vuoi?
So yes, Manfred Claudio Rocci. Do you know of him, Thomas?
I looked for that record. I haven't. No, I don't have it under. That it's just my what I want.
But you know of him.
Yeah, I know of him, but I never heard this track.
Yeah, it's from his fourth album, 73. My favorite is his sixth album, but this one is really nice because it's like folk, prog, song, psychedelic, experimental. It goes in all these directions, and it's also a fairly easy record in many ways. There's nothing super challenging about it, but it's pretty long tracks. So yeah,
very nice song.
Yeah, Claudio Rocci, he was part of the 60s rock scene in Milano, and he was a big figure. But like by the early mid 70s, he got really more psychedelic, not necessarily in just a psych rock sense, but in a more global sense. And you could say that in a way he, not necessarily musically, but he's a sort of the Italian Syd Barrett, if Syd Barrett had kept his head.
If he would have kept his head, he would have stayed with Pink Floyd, I think. Which
maybe
might have helped. Thomas.
Yeah, I want that record, and that,
then buy it. Is it that hard to get?
It's not. I mean, there are. If you want the original pressing, I mean, it's not that expensive. But you if you want to find it in the wild in good condition, that's not going to happen.
Always,
of course.
But, I don't figure Thomas a reissue guy.
No, but it's a record. You could get it for like $60-$70 probably. A really nice copy.
But don't forget that these things change.
I can do a reissue if I don't have a. If
you can what?
Ability, yeah. But sometimes I buy a reissue if that's the only possibility, and then I look for the original.
Yeah.
This one I really think it will be not a big issue. He's the one from 75. I think is a little more difficult to get, and with a white cover. Which I wish I could. Maybe next time.
Manfred is asking you to show the label because it's funny.
Oh yeah. It's sort of like Gentle Giant.
Ah, he's there for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
and you got the traditional Italian stamp on Italian records.
Nice. So Stanti knows Gentle Giant. Who would have thought?
No, I have 2 Gentle Giant albums.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thomas.
We go to Germany.
Oh, that's always.
Often they sound really good in the 60s, the records.
And the 70s. Yeah, and the red cover. I thought so. The cover art was a little bit like Library, right?
Yeah, but it's not. It's on the first German Columbia.
Okay. Nice. Wait.
It's
1967.
very strange. I was literally playing that record yesterday evening. A friend of mine came by late, a neighbor, to help me with something, and then he wanted to listen to some music, some evening music, and I put that on. And I hadn't played that record in years
This
and years.
very record you put on. That's
Yeah,
fine.
the same pressing. Like it's it's very eerie to experience that right now.
You made Heike Rast dancing on the table, Thomas.
Oh yeah, it's a really, really well produced album, and it's music for the small hours. I think perfect for that. And I think Shahab find his way to that record as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And,
So
and,
he
and,
was-
and the whole record goes in that style, in that way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
But
So,
you see, Marius, he was saying that this was making him a little sleepy, and I thought, okay, so this is winter.
Wait a
so
second.
let's go.
Wait
Oh.
a second. So as we are closing in on the 2-hour mark, 4 minutes, this will be the last song of the evening.
Well,
what's space to finish up stuff?
we'll go in the steamy jungle. Like it will get even more sleepy and tropical. Like imagine if you're getting literally exhausted by the heat and the sundown, but also you don't mind that. The tropical frogs are singing around you. Suddenly you're in an altered state.
Idea of the season in the land of Kush. Coming from their creator.
Yeah, thank you all for attending the stream. And we'll look at it more and then in the OBC on fire right now. Yeah, thank you. Next week, take a break for Thomas See you all next week. Thank you all. Bye.